Welcome to Time Out with Sports Adda. This is your host Paras here with our cricket expert Rushabh. Rushabh, very good evening.
Good evening, Paris. Really happy that we have some hopes for getting cricketing action at least today.
Yes, the weather forecast seems to be good. Although it's cloudy, there is no sign of rain. The start has been preponed to 3 o'clock, and a lot to watch out for. Although we have almost 2.5 days washed out of this game, still, whenever we come to know that we're going to get some live action, all of us do get excited, don't we?
Yes, it has to be like that. I mean, if I talk about any test match being washed out, I mean, it's a final. It's a very big final. Something happening for the first time, and we have already lost what 7.5 sessions.
Yeah,
That's almost half of the test match is already gone by.
yeah.
And luckily, we have a reserve day. Yes, there's a reserve day tomorrow, but again, there are little bit of chances of rain. But predominantly, the forecast is typical English weather, where it would be grey, it would be cloudy, but less chances of rain, and we hope that the rain gods stay away.
Right. We're also talking about the strategy for both teams is gone onto the back foot now because of minimal time. Do you think New Zealand now is basically wanting to bat for the whole day, irrespective of how many runs they get?
Maybe they would look at trying to get a result possible. I mean, both teams will be vying for that. They just want to be the sole winners rather than sharing it with another team. So, considering New Zealand, they have two good experienced players there, and they have a few good players to follow as well. Something like Colin de Grandhomme, who can play aggressive cricket. Bold Saudi also can throw their bat at it. Same with BJ Watling as well. So
Yeah.
they would look at scoring runs as quickly as possible. Maybe they might now not think about having taking a much bigger lead, but something like just maybe a 20-30 run lead would ensure that they are doing good and they can declare to try and get India into bat again and get them out as early as possible.
Right. So that's a very, very aggressive statement there. Trying to get all 10 Indian wickets again in a couple of sessions is no easy task. Talking about a loyal servant, BJ Watling's last test match, he's done very, very well throughout his career. He's always been a very, very busy player. Your comments about him.
A terrific, what I can say, a terrific person to be a part of in the team. He's played about 77, 78 test matches, and to end at such a high level, I think requires that sort of fitness level. He's 36 years old,
Yeah.
and at the age of 36 to be jumping here and there is not an easy task. And he's not let any buys also go in the first inning. So again, that's a very
Yeah.
big thing for a wicket keeper, especially in these conditions where the ball swings, to not allow any runs as buys. I think it's a terrific achievement for him. And we have seen that. I mean, over the years, if I can say so, in the first inning, one stat I read was that he covered about 7 meters of distance on either side of the stumps just by keeping. So diving to the left, diving to the right, he covered a distance of 7 meters, and that's quite a lot. For a 36-year-old, that's even more better, if I can say so. So a terrific servant to New Zealand cricket. They'll definitely miss him, but on the positive side, I looked at New Zealand have 2, 3 wicket keepers already in the ranks. Somebody like a Tom Latham
Yeah.
started off as a wicket keeper. You have a Tom Blundell who's also a wicket keeper. So that shift, if I can say so, from BJ Watling to another keeper won't be
Hmm.
a big task for them, but they'll
Yeah.
definitely miss the services of BJ Watling.
Right. You've pointed this out very correctly with regards to the transition. They already have a reserve keeper and, a young successor after that. The squad, once again, very, very settled. It's up to Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor to take it forward today. And
Yes,
you
it has.
already discussed about. I'm sorry, Rishabh, to cut you, but you already discussed about what New Zealand can do. But if India are to get early wickets and get New Zealand out at 150, then the match is again on, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. That's something which Indians will be looking at, because for as an Indian fan, I would like to believe that if New Zealand can get us out, get 7 wickets in 70 runs, so can we.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no reason why we can't do it. And we have two world class spinners also, in addition to great fast bowlers. That's an added advantage we have. So we just have to think about the positives. Just go out there, do the best you can. The conditions are going to be there. You can't change that. The wicket is going to be as it is. You can't change that. So rather than looking at these things which you can't work on, let's just focus on what you can do. Try to use the skill you have. Try to align your skills in line with what the situation is, what the conditions are, and just try to get wickets as early as possible.
Right. When we talk about the Indian bowlers being, very, very well balanced with the type of bowling and the in swings and the out swings and the seam ups that they bowl, we also talk about a Kane Williamson and a Ross Taylor being, very, very strong in the middle order for New Zealand. Given everyone's been talking about how Kane Williamson looks more settled, the same can't be said about a Ross Taylor. Ross Taylor's a very scratchy starter, isn't he?
He is, and in the last few years, we have seen him weakness. He's getting LBW a lot of times. When the ball just pitches on the off stump and jags back in a little bit, he has that weakness which has been expressed quite a lot, and it has been used against him quite a few times. So
Yeah.
that's something that the Indians will also look at. I mean, when he came into bat, whatever number of balls he faced yesterday, it was from Ishant Sharma, and immediately you could see Ishant Sharma coming over the wicket and attacking him in that on that off stump line when the ball was just swinging in. So there's a
Yeah.
definite plan to get him out, and I'm sure that today also when we see, they would like to just continue with the same way.
Right. Now that all this has happened, the rains have come, and there's a lot of dew, and the outfield's also very wet. When we talk about India playing two spinners, do you think they've missed a trick in playing another fast bowler?
Uh, I I don't know. I mean, it depends because considering what India would have considered at that point of time was that they will at least get 5 days of game. Considering one day was a washout, they would have still expected that we get 5 days of game and 5 days of
Yeah.
test match. Day 4, day 5 become really very interesting. And this statement was given by the curator also, because when
Hmm.
it was asked that how will the wicket play, he had said that it can turn on day 4, day 5, considering it was prepared as a neutral venue. So it was not created on the basis of or on the requirements as per ECB, but ICCI had looked after on how the wicket should be. So that was a neutral venue that makes it even more interesting. Wherein if you're playing in England conditions with ECB handling, you can expect that they would have a flat deck which won't turn much. But considering it's a neutral venue, ICC wouldn't be so harsh on them. So the curators might get a little bit of leeway to prepare the wicket as they want. And he had also said that he expected the wicket to turn on day 4, day 5. Considering that, I think it was a good decision. And if you look at the other two bowlers which India had in their ranks, which they didn't play, Umesh Yadav and Mohammad Siraj, I think
Yeah.
considering them, definitely Ravindra Jadeja and Ravichandran Ashwin give you that extra advantage when it comes to batting also. And plus, they are bowling wise also, they are much, much more experienced than the other two. So I think it was a good decision there.
Right. The balance that India went ahead with wasn't with the forecast of what has happened. Rather, the expected turn, and which wasn't on offer because of the conditions now. Now, coming to the New Zealand batting, we've covered Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor. Now, Henry Nichols is a left-handed batsman who likes to play his strokes. Also, a D Grandhome, and BJ Watling is a fiddler, and the batting goes down right up till Jamieson, where you can consider him as a proper batsman. So, New Zealand also bat deep, and then there's Tim Southey. And Neil Wagner can also stick around and, play those strokes. So, coming back to New Zealand's batting performance, up till now, they've looked very sure. They left the ball very well. And now the remaining batsmen that they have, what do you think their approach should be? Do they go for the kill or do they settle around?
I think they should go for the kill because, like I said earlier, I mean, no team would like to be declared as shared winners. You want to be the sole winners of the trophy. And considering that, they should go to try and get to the Indians total as early as possible so that they get the chance to declare, get Indians back to bat, and give their bowlers enough time to get them all out also. So you can't expect them to bat the whole day today and then have their bowlers to maybe bowl out India in just one session and then again come and chase down the total. That's very superficial, if I can say so. So they should try to just get to the they get close to the Indians total as early as possible and give their bowlers maximum time to bowl them out because we have seen New Zealand bowlers have been bowling attacking lines, so it won't be easy for the Indian batsmen to score as well. So New Zealand at current stage don't need to think about having a big lead of about 100, 150 runs because
Yeah.
Indians at this point of time won't really look at scoring those 150 runs and then going on to the score. If you give them that total, definitely Indians will try to, get the game towards a draw because that's what it's looking like. So rather just attack, just try to go get as close as possible to the Indians total. Just make maybe a 15, 20 or 30 run lead. Get your bowlers, give them maybe 2, 2.5, 3 sessions to bowl out India and then come and chase in the remaining 1 or 2 sessions. That should be the plan.
Rightly said there, Rushabh. Then one other aspect, barring cricket and all the skills and the abilities of these individuals, is bad luck with New Zealand. Whenever they are in the finals, there's some odd man out who clicks, or something or the other goes wrong, or anyone comes back from a dying situation to come out victorious.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you have to feel bad for New Zealand, considering the situation they have been. Where in winning situation, and it's not like anything which has happened was a very easy thing to do. I mean, if I remember 2019 World Cup, that overthrow off the bat of Ben Stokes, completely unexpected. That was not something which otherwise would have happened in any other cricket game. So it's not something like, okay, he hit 6 sixes. Even that is a big thing, but that's still possible. But nobody could have even imagined something like this happening, and that too in a World Cup final where the game is ending in a draw, and at that situation. So yeah, they have been on the unluckier side a lot of times, and that's why you do feel bad for them. I mean, they've been termed as the good guys of cricket. That's there, but as a cricket fan, also you do feel bad for them. You do feel bad for when you see Kane Williamson smile, even in that situation, you do feel bad. But again, I mean, there's just some sort of patriotism inside you also, which says no, India should win, even if that means New Zealand will lose. So can't help it.
Right, right, right. One other aspect of the New Zealand innings was the catching. They only managed to drop one catch, that was of Jadeja. All the other catches that went were difficult. Talking about fast bowlers fielding in the slip cordon. A Tim Southee, the catch he took off Rohit Sharma, it was a very difficult catch.
It is, and coming from a fast bowler, you don't expect them. I mean, if I talk about traditional cricket mindset, you have your fast bowlers somewhere at third man, fine leg, or in test matches at around mid wicket or maybe square leg, where there are less chances of the ball coming. And here to see a fast bowler standing at what, second slip, third slip, where more often than not you have to dive because the ball never really comes straight to your hands, is a big thing. And we have seen the stats. I mean, if I'm not wrong, 91% of catches have been taken by New Zealand uh, in this World Test Championship. That means 9 out of 10 catches, just one drop. Whereas if I talk about India, they are not far away, but they are at number 4 with around 83 or 84%. That's still good. But New Zealand, the only team which is in the 90s, the rest all of them are under 90. So that speaks volumes about how good their slip catching has been. And again, a settled unit like
Yeah.
India, a very settled unit, and not again big stars, not good real fielders or so, but pretty good when it comes to holding on to the ball.
Right. Now that the India's team card has come up, what do you think a Sharma or a Shubman Gill would be thinking? Do you think they'll get to bat today?
Today it looks difficult, but they should be prepared. Going into the third session, they can have to bat maybe the last 1 hour or so, because that's what general Test cricket mindset is. If you have to, you don't want to declare, you bat till maybe half an hour after the tea session. Just declare, get the opposition team in, try to send them maybe 2 wickets down at the end of the day and put the pressure on the other day. But that's something we have seen over quite few years, when Test cricket has been played. But again, this time it's a final. Plus, there's always that uncertainty related to the weather. You never know. Tomorrow it might just rain, maybe for an hour. Maybe a session might get washed out, and you might lose a chance of winning it as being the sole winner. So that's also something which will be there in their mind. So rather, I would say they shouldn't really think about batting this time. They should just be there on the wicket, just try to be in the zone, in the game as much as they can. And obviously, considering the level of players they are and the preparations, even if they just have to prepare in 10 minutes to go out there and bat, they can do that easily.
Right. When we talk about the Indian openers, do you think we can see a punt coming one down to up the ante, something on these cards?
Looks difficult. I mean, I wouldn't have Pant because I know what caliber he has. He's an attacking batsman, and I would rather keep him at number 5, 6, because if I have him there, it's always there in the mind of the opposition that okay, he's coming at number 5 and 6. If I
Yeah.
get him up the order, and unfortunately, if he isn't able to convert well, like what happened in the first innings, you certainly lose your plot there. Because then after that,
Yeah.
it means that there's a lot of pressure on somebody like a Pujara or a Rahane to score fast or score quickly, which is not their suited game, if I can say so. So rather, I have Pant where he is. He's very good there, because that gives the others above him the opportunity to just take their time, settle in, and build the platform for him, and then he can come in and hit and attack. Also, not talking about the ball, the condition of the ball. Yes, because it's
No.
Duke, it's been swinging, but generally as the ball gets older, it stops swinging. It swings less. So that is an added advantage for somebody like Pant, who's not a technical batsman, who's not somebody who's used to playing close to the body. He likes to just go for his shots. More often than not, he plays it away from the body. That's what brought about his downfall in the first innings as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
considering that, I would have him at number 5 because it's a psychological factor as well, and also it helps him bat.
Right, nicely pointed out there. There's some very good inputs to how a batting lineup should be prepared, and what's in the opposition's mind. We talk about the aggression, and it's controlled aggression in the way you put out. And we're just 5 minutes away from live action. Once again, though there were not many talking points because of what we've seen, whatever information that you've put out there, Rushabh, is fabulous. And to all the budding cricketers out there, you it's very crucial that you learn off of a Rushabh before implementing cricket out there. And it's fabulous the way Rushabh's conducted his seminars of cricket, if I can say. Pleasure talking to you. Pleasure talking to you, Rushabh.
Thanks, Paras. Really excited for today's day. At least we'll get to see some aggressive cricket being played. That's what I can hope and I can wish as a cricket fan, with obviously no rain interruptions, please. We've had enough.
Fingers crossed there, Rushabh. Fingers crossed. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.